Welcome to the Game of Thrones Iron Podcast, Game of Thrones Ascent Reincarnation Tutorial. I'm here with Rose Snow, Bitch of Westeros, leader of the Red Vipers Bannerman.
Hello.
And we have a guest here today. We have Michael Pfeiffer, the Imp King, member of the Red Vipers Bannerman. How you doing, Mike?
Hi, Mike.
Hey, folks.
And I'm Mike Blackfire, and we're going to talk about a hot topic in the Red Vipers Bannerman lately, which is about reincarnating.
Yes, we have Michael Pfeiffer here because if anyone knows Michael Pfeiffer, they know that he is not just the Imp King, but also the Reincarnation King.
That's right.
Yeah, 28 reincarnations so far.
28 reincarnations.
As opposed to me with 7 and Ro with 9.
I've already told Mike that he has no way that he could ever go inactive. He's not allowed. Not allowed ever.
Yeah, because we can't wait to see what kind of a beast he's going to be when he's done. So
That's
you're
right.
not allowed to quit, Mike. You got to go the whole thing.
Okay.
I'm interested as well.
So today we're going to discuss what we feel are the most important topics of reincarnation. We've had a lot of people asking a lot of questions when it comes to reincarnation. It makes us all nervous. I don't know if you've done it once or never or 10 times. It makes me nervous every time I do it. So, doing it right and getting it done as best and fast as you can, I think is key here. And that's what we're going to discuss.
Right.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Yeah, Mike.
What?
No, but, the thing with it is you spend all this time, and especially if you never reincarnated before, you got yourself up to a high level. It's scary, but, we'll talk about the different options and the advantages to it. So I guess we'll go to the first topic. What's the most important thing to do when getting ready to reincarnate?
Mike, you want to go first?
Yeah, I would first check my equipment. It's pretty important to have good equipment to make a fast walk. I would recommend Patriarch Wolf.
Right, the Patriarch is 9% faster, Mike?
Yeah, 9%, and that's a lot.
You guys know this stuff better than me because I just see them as direwolves. I give them names and I move on.
Right.
So,
well, let me just say first off a little lingo. Walk, when Mike says to do a walk, that's one reincarnation. At lingo, like walk means that. And for reincarnation, you want to speed up quests, not adventures, quests, because that's what's going to get you through the book quest faster, or just actions in general. Like if it says speed up spy actions, that'll also apply. But anything that says adventures wouldn't do it. Again, Mike, like you were saying, the equipment, any other equipment you got that you read?
Any other equipment I would recommend is a burning sword because it allows you to complete adventures and quests 5% faster additionally.
so just the burning sword alone and the Patriarch is now giving you 14% faster. Just those two, and then you still are adding armor.
Right.
Now, armor, from what I understand, is one of the harder things to find when you're doing this. And I personally used Ned's riding leathers. I think it was 3%, which isn't a whole lot. I believe, and I'm not positive, but I believe Robb Stark's armor, is 4% faster. So, then you're looking at knocking off, almost 20% of that time, So 5 hours is now 4, and you haven't even started yet.
Yeah. Personally, I choose Theon Greyjoy's armor because of I'm a spy, and it grants 7% fast completion of all intrigue actions whenever used.
Oh, see, I didn't know that because, again, that's not something that I would know. You guys know this stuff better than me for sure.
Yeah, well, just to clarify, Ned's riding leathers is 3% faster completion of battle actions on quests and 3% faster completion of trade actions on quests. So you could actually, if you want to go the trade route, it'll speed both of those up. And another one that I have that I didn't even know would help me with reincarnating, I bought it a while ago, is Robb Stark's armor is 5% faster battle attacks.
Okay, so it's 5% faster. And one thing that I have to say is I did not have the burning sword. I never had any desire to buy it because I was a 623 Stark and I was in no rush. But I ended up with Craster's Axe.
That's a good item.
That's what I have equipped right now. I have Craster's Axe, Ned's Riding Leathers, and the Patriarch. And then, of course, I have my Sworn Swords with some Destriers, which is 3%. And I have some Sworn Swords with a few other Patriarchs that I just so happen to have. So, unfortunately, they gave us the Matriarch, but that does not have speed up ability like the Patriarch does, just to clarify. So, in order to wrap up that topic, does anyone have any speed up equipment that we haven't mentioned?
Not right now, but your Matriarch is another very, very useful item.
Right.
I got on my main.
Right.
Because the speed up is most likely put on your main sword to go through the quests. But the Matriarch Wolf helps all your Sworn Swords from 5% to all attacks and 5% to all defense.
Right.
Alone with each walk.
Right.
That's very, very helpful.
So not a bad item once you're done and you don't have the elite cavalrymen yet. That's not a bad item to have. And again, that was a one-shot deal, that Matriarch. So,
most likely.
Well, I mean, I just want to say, unfortunately, all these items are items you have to buy. They're not craftable items. I haven't seen, guys, stop me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you could craft anything that speeds up.
I haven't seen anything craftable that speeds up anything.
So,
no, never.
Yeah, so unfortunately, you might have to spend a couple of bucks on these speed up items because they reserve it for you have to buy them.
Well, I'm going to move us on to the next topic, but I'm going to also stay on topic and say that if there was one thing that got me through reincarnating Rose Snow, in 2 days' time, I went through Baratheon in 2 days, and if there was one thing that got me through that in 2 days, it was the bread. I've seen mixed emotions on this, and that's why it's important for us to touch on it. I personally, Mike, brought 150 with me. I did not use them all. I really used it wisely. I did not start using it until I hit 2 hours. Yep. And, of course, you know, for those who don't know, the bread is made in the sept, and it takes 30 minutes off your Sworn Sword. They keep changing the 2-hour speed ups, which are honey cakes, and now they're back to wolf-shaped bread again. Those are 2 hours, and of course, your loving spouse will send you bacon, which takes 15 minutes off of your time, or you can also get it in the daily rewards. So I just wanted to touch on that really quick. We had, discussed this before, and we've seen so many people discussing how many bread should I take. I know Lord Solomon took 200. He had a problem with it. So my advice here is I took 150. I didn't use it all. I used it wisely. And I don't know if you've done this before, Mike, but Michael and I here, Mike Blackfire, he's made the same mistake. When you're switching back and forth between volumes, you bred back the wrong volume Sworn Sword, and you end up wasting a lot of it. So make sure you're in volume 1 when you're using the bread.
Right.
Lesson learned. Learn from my mistake. I wasted at least 5 of them by doing it. So in reality, I would have had even more when I was done going to Greyjoy. But I didn't. So now I hit Greyjoy, I've got 20 bread, and I'm going, oh no. So Michael, in your opinion, Mike Pfeiffer, how many do you think that somebody that's really going to do this reincarnation thing should bring, at least for one reincarnation?
Comes up to which kind of reincarnator you are. If you reincarnate pretty often and have permanented one speed up talent, so I would take lesser bread, but if you have no such speed up talents at all from the beginning, I would recommend maybe 100 bread, 100 till 150.
Right. Sounds about right.
Right. I can definitely agree with that notion.
And that's one reincarnation. Just so you know.
Right. I probably had 20 to 30 left over, and again, I wasted 5. I did not use it for 2 hours. I'm going to repeat that because until you hit 2 hours, you got plenty of other things you could be doing. One thing, because we're going to move on, is we're going to discuss the mead. I used the mead because I was leveling myself up faster that way. And as we have been discussing, and we will discuss further, is there are talent points that can be trained that will get you through reincarnation faster. So the sooner you do it is the better.
Well, just like Mike brought up, let's go to the next topic. What kind of reincarnator are you? What are you going for? Now, there's different types. You could be, are you just there to get all the buildings? So you're only going to run through all the fealties that are out right now? Like right now we have about 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that would only be 7 reincarnations. Or are you going for the whole gambit? You want to fully reincarnate, just like Mike. Mike's going, he's up to 28. He's going to keep going until he fills out. Because every time you reincarnate, you get to keep 1 talent point permanent. So what that means is when you start over again, you're going to have that talent point already. And, some people will sit there and they'll open everything up. They'll have it where, they'll have 8%. They'll have the all 8 for Baratheon for the fight, all 8 for harass with the Greyjoy, etc.
You've got to do that, as Mike Pfeiffer has taught us. If you want the 8 talent points trained, and Michael, what does that come out to, Mike Pfeiffer?
How much percent?
When you do 8 talent points in fight or harass, how much does that come out to in the end?
6%. 16.
16%.
When attacking or defending.
So that's Mike Pfeiffer's mission here, is to have all these talent points trained. So if you wanted to have that 16% to fight, but you don't want to be a Baratheon, then you've got to do Baratheon 8 times. You want to keep the building, you've got to do Baratheon 9 times.
Correct.
So basically that's Mike's mission here, is to have everything he feels is important to him. Are you going for the whole shebang, Mike? Do you want every talent point that there is?
Not every talent point. There are several talents I'm just ignored, to be honest. Like Stark's Hunter's Cash. It saved my silver, yeah, sure, but at least I'm not raided all day long and have to save and protect my little bit silver that I have.
Right.
This would take me 8 till 9, 64 walks additional for all houses, and that would be insane. Just protect my silver.
Right.
Yeah, that seems like.
Well, I can say, for those who don't know, because there are some new players, and there are, maybe just not sure because it's never happened to them or they've never paid attention or cared. But I got three steel sent at me when I was about a level 29 Baratheon, and I lost 207 silver per steel, and there was 3 steals. So in reality, I only lost 621 silver. So like you're saying, Mike, it makes no sense to waste your time on that.
Yep.
Get the fight percent, the harass percentages, get those, spy speed up. And maybe some crafting points going on.
Well, Mike, you tell us what's some goals to shoot for. What talents you think are worth reincarnating 8 times for?
I would take at first, if you're a mass reincarnator like me, I would take at first speed up talent 3 entire 8 block from the kind of war you prefer. Maybe fight. This way you could take plant root. At the end it grants you 24% speed up in each fight action. May it be quests, adventures, or even player to player.
Well, another way to go, now that I'm thinking about it from my experience in the game, is that there is a talent for fight and defense. Fight, to attack, and fight to defend. So maybe if you're not the type of person that wants to do a bazillion reincarnations and you want those percentages, that might be just the one to train, because not only are you boosting your fight, but you're boosting your defense. So maybe that's not a bad idea now that you guys make me think of it. But, of course, we want to go ahead and move on. I guess maybe choosing the right fealty, for you. I've seen that happen too. And I have to tell you personally, for me on Viperous, I landed on Tyrell thinking, as the leader of the Red Viper's Bannerman, that maybe my bribe would be helpful to our members, to remove those sabotage faults. But in the reality is I could not stand that fealty. And I apologize because I know that there's a lot of my friends in the game that really like Tyrell. It's not for me. I am battle, and when I reincarnated Rose Snow due to a glitch that happened on my account, I was sort of forced to do it at level 623 Stark. So I will say, as Mike Pfeiffer had said earlier, what kind of reincarnator are you? Well, the buildings weren't important to me. They were only important to me because I wanted Greyjoy to make the Kraken seal. I wanted Baratheon because it's all percentages to fight. Well, not percentages, I shouldn't say that. I should say strength points to fight, or to battle, I should say. Even, keep correcting myself. But for me, I'm going only battle. I'm going from Stark to Baratheon. I'm now Greyjoy. I'm going back to Stark in a few days, and I'm staying there. So Greyjoy will give you battle, but it will also give you intrigue. Where, again, we are saying to choose the right fealty here is the next topic that we're discussing. So, going down the line, Tyrell is trade. Lannister...
Trade and intrigue.
Okay. Yeah. Tyrell is trade and intrigue. And then we have the Tullys, which is all trade.
Right.
And then we have Greyjoy, which is battle and intrigue. We have Baratheon, which is all battle. Somebody's going to have to correct me here and kick me in the rear because I was a 623 Stark. I know Stark gives battle, but I'm not...
Battle and trade.
Battle and trade. I wasn't sure of that secondary talent that they were giving you there. And we've, of course, got Targaryen for the dragons, and that is definitely intrigue. And battle. So, are we missing anybody? I don't believe.
Lannisters already have an intrigue support, too.
Okay, so you've got, with Lannister... Thanks, Mike. You've got Lannister, you've got intrigue and trade, of course, because they're swindlers.
Now, we're talking about battle points, intrigue points. This means the building you get, when you level it up, when you upgrade that building, it gives you points towards your main character. Your main character's stats will be stronger because that building's upgraded. So that's the big reason why you would want to, reincarnate all the buildings, or at least a couple of them. That'll help you out, in whatever you're going for.
Right. We wanted to spend some time on this subject. I don't know if anyone here has anything else that they want to put in. But, we wanted to spend some time on this subject just so people that are really, I've had people come to me, even last night was the last time I got a private message regarding reincarnating. A lot of people also tend to ask me as the leader, when is the right time for me to reincarnate? And for Mike Pfeiffer, any time is the right time.
Sure.
But for me as the leader, I get asked that question a lot. When is the right time for me to reincarnate? Well, the answer for that question is, it is your game. We are an alliance, and we are definitely here to help each other and support each other through this game. But in the same breath, you are voluntarily here as an alliance member, and that is solely your game. Don't ever let a leader tell you how to play your game. So that is my answer. I know that, it's pretty sharp of an answer, but it is my answer. I, as the leader of the alliance, chose, knowing that Rose Snow needed to be corrected by, reincarnating, I chose to do it when AVA ended. I sold everything I had. I was worth about $1 million silver in the end, and I dumped it into our camps to repair. And, that was basically my decision as the leader to do that. I'm not asking anyone else to do that. So that's my final input here.
Well, I mean, go ahead, Mike.
You have anything you want to put in?
No, nothing more to add, and it's good command.
Okay, good.
Yeah, well, the only thing I just wanted to add was my suggestion, not telling you when to reincarnate, would be to do it as soon as possible, and so you could start leveling up. Because, you don't want to do what I did. I mean, I feel like I made a mistake. I feel like with my main account, I waited too long, and now I got to, start from the beginning. I got all the way up to, I think around 500 level, and now I had to start all over again. I would have much rather, my personal opinion, got it all out of the way and started building. But, that's just what I would do.
Well, one thing that I just want to add to that, I know we're running a little long here, but one thing that I wanted to add to that is it really is important. And again, as the leader, I see a lot more, I get a lot more private messages then, you know, some of the other people see what's going on behind the scenes. A lot of people burn out during reincarnating. And that's why, again, I want to stress, do the most important buildings to you. If you really want to be a great Lanny and you want to be a big swindler and you don't care about battle, do those trade buildings first. Again, after 3 reincarnations, I've seen a few people say to me, I can't do this again. I cannot do this anymore. So that is really what I'm stressing, is definitely make sure you get what's most important done first. Again, if you burn out after 3, you land on Lannister, you build up to that swindler that you were looking to do, you've got your other 2 trade buildings, and heck, you defend the best that you can, a battle attack or an intrigue attack, and you come back at them with your swindle. That's my suggestion.
I got like a few things that we missed that I wanted to just touch on real quick. There's upgrades in the buildings that also speed up your attacks. There's one in the embassy, and I like the way, you know, Mike, after talking to you a lot about this,
right?
I think spy is one of the best actions if you're going to do mass reincarnating, where you're going to go really heavy with it, because of this one thing that I see in the embassy. It is a gold upgrade, which you probably should talk about that really quick too. The weekly gold.
Right.
But down at the bottom of the embassy, it's called Foreign Diplomat. It's the bottom right corner of the embassy. Perform spy actions 10% faster, and that's just your building. And I don't see that anywhere else that big of an upgrade. There is in the smithy,
right,
the bottom right, horseshoes,
right.
And if you get that all the way, it's 5% to battle faster, which is nice because you do get fight, harass, and aid with battle, but it's less.
It does add as well to mention, and we have a screenshot going up, but it does add the 15 to battle as well to your main character, because let's be honest, when you're reincarnating and trying to get through these quests, you don't want to lose.
No.
Most of them you have to redo. Not all of them. Sometimes DB will give you a little bit of a slide there, but most of the time you've got to redo them, and you do not want to lose. So your strength and your equipment is relevant. It's definitely important. I've learned that from doing it myself.
Yeah, so. And Mike, you said you actually do wait for the weekly gold, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because otherwise I would have to spend a huge amount of money to get the same equipment I have right now.
Right.
And after a year continuously playing the game, I got, don't know, a huge mass of gold just per playing or log in.
Right.
Yeah, freeze for me, you know.
Right. You know, some of our players are college students, some of them are supporting families and just don't have all this, you know, money to dump into gold. So that's what Mike Pfeiffer is saying is, you know, if you're 5 or 6 days in reincarnating, hey, hang in there one more day, collect your gold, and then move on. Right. I've seen that said a lot before in the past as well. I had, you know, made a joke the other day in the Alliance chat that I'm a lazy housewife and I just hit the buy gold button, you know. So, you know, heck, if you got $5, throw 25 gold in there and perm some items and take them with you, because that helped me a lot. I brought my army, I brought my most important equipment, and it helped me tremendously too. So like Mike Pfeiffer is saying, the gold is pretty important. You know, if you're just not the type that can afford it, or you just aren't the type to spend money on a game like this, then by all means, wait for that 7th day for that gold to come in.
Which is good too, so you only got to be as fast as a week per reincarnation. So
right.
You don't have to go too crazy. You don't have to buy everything we mentioned tonight, you know, the gold items. But, you know, if you're going to wait for that gold anyway, a week is pretty doable.
Everything helps. And Ned's riding leathers were only 23 gold, a lot less expensive than the other stuff.
Right.
So that pretty much wraps it up for me. And I thank Mike Pfeiffer for taking his time. Because, of course, we brought Mike Pfeiffer in because, you know, he was the man to go to when you have a question.
Always happy to help.
Yep.
Okay, right. Wonderful.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.